All right. Welcome to the Banjo Virtual Classroom, the live workshop for the tab walkthrough for the song Home Sweet Home. So, Home Sweet Home is classic, one of the Earl Scruggs' classic songs, played in three-finger style, and played in the key of drop C. So one off from GD/GBD tuning. We'll get to that in just a second. And if you want to grab the tab for this, you'll find the link in the video description, along with the video demonstration of this song. So the tuning here, we have a C on the 4th string, a G on the 3rd string, a B on the 2nd, a D on the 1st, and a G on the 5th. And this is only difference between this and standard G tuning is this 4th string tuned down to the key, to the C. And so it is not an open tuning like standard G. So to make your root chord, which is a position you'll play out of a lot, you form the first finger is on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and ring finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 1st string for your C major chord. All right, so that's a good position to know. The next position to know is the F chord, which you'll be doing in this song. Middle finger is 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Index is 1st fret of the 2nd. Pinky on 3rd fret of the 1st string. And then there's the G7 chord, 2nd fret of the 4th string with the index, open 3rd and 2nd strings, ring or pinky on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So here are the chords. So you have those positions, and then some stuff up the neck. And there are kind of two different variations I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you kind of the Earl Scruggs' classic arrangement for this, and then I'm going to show you another arrangement that's also in the video demonstration of a kind of what I call an alternating thumb style, kind of like almost like Travis style guitar. All right, so let's move to the tab view so that you can see the tab, and as usual, I will mark where I'm at with this blue marker, so which measure I'm at. All right, so we'll start here with this pickup measure. So we're at where's that C shape that I mentioned, and this measure sounds like this. Oops, sorry. So we're forming that C shape, and then we're going to actually lift our finger off that 1st string after we play that first 2 notes. So we've got a little, we're playing 2 notes together, 2nd string and 1st string. And the timing there, like that. Okay, that's how Earl starts it. And now that's our pickup measure, and now we'll move into the first full measure. And again, we're forming this C major shape. So we just have what we, in Scruggs parlance, would be called reverse rolls. So the same little pattern repeated while holding that chord down. Nothing you have to do with your fretting hand except hold that chord down. Now switch to that F major chord again. 2nd fret 3rd string, 1st fret 1st string, 3rd fret 1st fret 2nd string, 3rd fret 1st string. So that's the chord. And we're gonna play thumb, middle, index, thumb. And then we're going to bring our fingers down so that we're playing 7th fret of the 1st string with our, you can do your middle there, and index on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So we're moving from that F shape here to this shape here, and I think the easiest way to do that is just slide your index all the way down to this 6th fret, and then place the middle finger right there on the 7th fret. And then you have So those 3 notes, first string, second string, fifth string, and then that last note of this measure, you're going to bring your middle finger up to that 5th fret of the first string, and then also bring your index to the 5th fret of the fourth string fifth fret of the second string to get ready for the next measure. So this whole measure sounds like this. One more time, a little slower. Okay, now we've got our finger on 5th fret of the second string and the first string, and we play this. Okay, those are the first 4 notes. And then we have the last 4 notes. We're going to lift our fingers off. So that whole measure. Excuse me. Get a sip of water. All right. So one more time. This measure is... So I'm going to play through everything at the top of the screen now, starting with our pickup measure. Okay? Move on to the next set of measures. Again, this is a gorgeous song. Really fun once you get it down. All right. We're back to that C position again. And we just play this to start with. And then we bring finger down to the 5th fret of the first string. I usually use my ring. Now we go back up, ring to the 2nd fret. So that whole measure. Again, all right. Now we're forming that next measure. We're going to form that G7 chord. First 4 notes. Okay, first 4 notes of that, and then we have, so that whole measure. So after we play that 3rd fret of the first string, move your fingers down. Just take that whole shape, move it down 1 fret. So now that your index is on the 1st fret of the 4th string, and your pinky's now on 2nd fret of the 1st string. So again. Okay, and then you're going to, for the next measure, just slide it back down to that G7 and start with another pinch. And then, so again, those first 3 notes, and then play to close that measure out. So that whole measure. And now, we're going to go back to our C major and play. That's the first 4 notes, next 4. Okay, so that whole measure. So now everything at the top of the screen sounds like this. One more time, a little slower. Okay, we're going to close out this first pass through this A part. All right, and pretty simple. We just do this. We're leading back into our first measure again. Oops. All right, again, getting ready to place our finger on that full C major chord. All right, so that's if we were playing it the first time through, we'd go back and play that A part again. If it's our second time through, we're going to now lead into the B part, which starts out like this with the lead-in measures. And then this last note here is a slide from the 7th fret of the first string to the 10th fret. And then you're going to want to bring your middle finger, you're going to fret that 7th fret with your ring, have your middle on the 7th fret of the second string, and bring it all down to the 10th fret. Like this. So now you're ready for this next measure. So that measure sounds like this. Now, we start out kind of like we started out at the very beginning with this reverse roll. Except these last two notes, or this last note, instead of being the 10th fret of the second string, place your index finger on the 8th fret. So you have, sorry, like this. So that whole measure. Okay. Now, next measure, go ahead and bring your middle finger to that 9th fret. Play that. And then you're going to move that shape up 2 frets so that now you're at the 7th fret of the first string and 6th fret of the second string, and you play this. And then the last note is on the 5th fret of the first string, like we did in the A part. So this whole measure. Okay, I'm going to play the last 3 measures here. So lead into the B part. Okay. This next part should look familiar because we've already done it. So, if you recall, this measure, we're fretting the 5th fret on the 2nd and 1st strings for the first half, and then we're lifting off. So again, that whole measure. One more time. A little faster. It's easier to hear the rhythm or the notes that you're emphasizing when it's played a little bit faster. All right. Again, this is familiar. Back to C shape. Okay, just like we did before. Again, we're just replicating everything we did in the A part. And again, fingering that G7, moving our fingers up a fret. So again, this whole measure. One more time, a little slower. And then we'll slide back down. One more time. Okay, let's try that everything at the top of the screen. Sorry. Now we're going to close out the B part with this, which we already did as well, fingering our C major chord. One more time. All right. Now, if it's our first time through, we're going to do exactly how we led into this B part. Into that slide again. And then we go. Just like we did before. If it's our second time through and we're not done, we're going to we're going to do exactly what we did on the second time through the A part. I mean, the first time through the A part where we're leading back to the A part. And then we go to our beginning. And so on. All right? Now, I'm going to show you a variation here, like I said, which is the, I refer to it as an alternating thumb style way of playing this. And let me see here. All right. So, and then again, you can see that in the video. So, let's review the tab for that. And so this first measure here, again, we're on this same C major chord. We're starting with a pinch, and we're going to hammer onto that second fret. So we're leaving it open at the beginning. The first string is left open, and then we'll hammer onto it. And then we go. And if you see what I mean by alternating thumb, if you look at the fourth and third strings, the thumb is doing this. The That's what I mean by an alternating thumb style, and you can hear it in when the tune is playing. Like a Travis style picking for guitar works really well in this tune. All right, so that's the first measure in this second way of playing it. And here's the next measure. So remember, this is on the F chord. So we go. So once again, moving all the way down to the 7th fret. And our thumb is again still alternating on those 4th and 3rd strings. So once again. Now we're on 5th string of the 1st fret. So a little slower here. I'll play the first 4 notes. And then we have, so that whole measure. Again, thumb still alternating. We're going to break that pattern in this next measure. We're going to play a pinch on the 2nd, 1st string while fingering that C major chord. Go to the 5th fret, back to that pinch, so like this. If you remember, in the original version we just played 1 note. Here we're just doing a pinch instead. This is exactly as in the Scruggs version, because it's actually an alternating thumb style. So again. Alright, everything at the top of the screen. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Alright. And I think this is the same too. We have. Sorry. Yeah. This is very close to an alternating thumb. And now this last measure here, which is exactly as we did before. Okay? So this ending again, these last 2 measures. And now, if it's our first time through again, we go just like before. If it's our second time through, we're going to go into the B part and go like this. Alright, now we got the alternate, or this the other variation on the B part. Fingers in the same position. Okay, so slowly this measure again sounds like this. Okay, so a little variation. If you remember before we did. Now we're doing this. Alright, now we've got this measure where we're bringing our fingers into this position. 8th fret, 2nd string, 9th fret, 1st string. And we're gonna contrast that with the open 4th string against those notes. So again, you're just moving that shape 2 frets. Alright, and now you're going to bring it to the 5th fret, both strings. Alright, a little slower. Alright, this little figure is which we already did. So everything at the top of the screen sounds like this. Sorry, one more time. Once more. Sorry. Getting ahead of us. All right, again, we've already played all this. So, fingers on the G7 chord. Slide up. One more time. Oops. slide back down. All right, and back to C major. We've done this before. And now again, if it's our first time through, we'll do this again. And our slide. Okay. All right. So if it's our second time through, sorry, I had to play through that. We just do this. So this preceding measure again, and then we just end with the, if I can get it to go, there we go, with the open fourth. So again, okay, so, or you could do, that's how Earl ends it. So it's first fret, second string. All right, first fret, second string. Thumb on the fifth, back to the second, and then second fret, third string, open third. You can either pull that off or play thumb index, and then slide second fret, fourth string to fourth fret, and then open, and then strum with your hands on the C major. Okay, so that's another ending. Sorry. Like that. If you just want to end it the straight way. There, get that open fourth ringing loudly. Okay. All right, that is it for Home Sweet Home. You gotta know this one. It's too pretty. It's too classic. And if you're watching this in the Banjo Virtual Classroom, you have any questions about it, just leave them in the comment box at the bottom, and I'll be happy to address it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.